Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, it's a full week of spring sports.
And it's up the middle for a base hit. 2 runs will score.
In the Coach's Corner, we're joined by the man leading the top-ranked girls lacrosse team in the state. Plus, don't miss out on our standout athlete of the week.
Team-wise, a lot of people didn't think we were going to be able to do what we did just because it's Lawrence North.
We're off to the races with an all-new Zone Extra right now.
Hi, everybody. Good evening to you, and welcome to the Zone Extra. I'm Anthony Calhoun. What a great week of spring high school sports action. In the Coach's Corner, I am joined by the man leading the top-ranked girls lacrosse team in the state, Guerin Catholic's Brian Billen is here. Plus, our athlete of the week will play football at IU next season, but is a 3-sport star at Lawrence North High School. We're introduce you to Omar Cooper Jr. Also, you won't want to miss our plays of the week, which come from one of the wildest softball games you'll ever see. And find out how you can be a part of the show in weeks to come. Now, let's take a look at this week in high school sports. It's been a bit of a rocky start to the baseball season due to the weather, but action is underway here in Central Indiana. Saturday afternoon, Center Grove hosted Avon. The visiting Orioles struck first with a pair of runs. In the top of the second, Center Grove responds in the bottom of the inning and ties the game. The Trojans led by 1 before scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th, and they go on to pick up an 8-3 victory. Now, let's check out this week's top 5 in the Class 4A baseball rankings. Number 1, those Tigers from Fishers, number 1. See the Shamrocks from Westfield, number 2, and then Zionsville coming in ranked 3rd in the state. Center Grove 4th, and Jasper rounding out the top 5. And speaking of baseball, the state is facing a shortage of umpires. How about this? Affecting both travel ball as well as high school competition. The shortage has forced some games to use only 1 umpire instead of 2, or even forcing games to be postponed or rescheduled. It's an issue that some believe could have a long-lasting impact on the sport.
I would hate to think that this was happening, but it's always a possibility that the frustration level would set in and then kids just don't participate anymore. And after all, baseball, it's, the all-American sport. And it would be a very, very sad thing to see those numbers diminish. When you see that 8-year-old face, there's nothing like it. When he lights up, there is nothing like it. And it never gets old. It never gets old.
Yeah, he's right about that. Meanwhile, in softball last week, we saw a fun game in Johnson County as Center Grove hosted Pendleton Heights. The Trojans jumped in front with 4 runs in the bottom of the first. After getting a run back in the second, the Arabians take the lead with 4 runs of their own in the third. Center Grove scores twice in the 7th, and we head to extra innings. In the top of the 8th, we got a Chloe Gregory with a 2-run inside the park home run for Pendleton Heights, and they get it done. The final score, 8-6 is the final. They get the victory. All right, moving to lacrosse now. This past week, we saw plenty of great action, including the defending state champion, Hamilton Southeastern. They hosted South Bend St. Joseph's. This would be a match dominated by the host Royals, folks. They jumped out here on St. Joseph's quickly with a goal 17 seconds into the game. HSE adds 5 more in the quarter to lead 6-0. They would extend the margin to 10-1 at the half and going to win at 15-4. The Royals are ranked 2nd in the state in this week's Class 2A poll and are off until next week when they take on Noblesville. Also last week, the 3rd-ranked Carmel Greyhounds they were in action as the Hounds hosted Guerin Catholic. Carmel got things started on the right foot as they find the back of the net 6 times in the opening quarter to take an early 5-goal lead. They keep the pressure on the rest of the night and earn a 17-6 victory. Carmel returns to action after spring break with a home game against Zionsville coming up next week. On the track, we are getting into the heart of the outdoor season for both the boys and the girls, with plenty of great competitions and meets taking place. That includes Tuesday at Mooresville, where the Pioneers hosted Plainfield and Avon for a meet. Plainfield won the boys' meet while Avon was victorious on the girls' side. The track regular season continues for just over another month before sectional action gets underway in the middle of May. Now, let's take a look at the latest track rankings in the Coaches Poll. First for the ladies here, Carmel, number 1. See Plainfield, number 2. Tigers and Fishers, 3. Brownsburg, those Bulldogs coming in 4th this week. And Zionsville, the Eagles, rounding out the top 5. And for the boys, Carmel Greyhounds, once again, number 1 there. We've got Plainfield there as well. You got Fishers, 3. Brownsburg, 4. And then Zionsville as well, 5th in the state for boys.
Brayden, I know we're in Florida right now, but back home in Indiana, you are the Mr. Basketball, huh?
Oh, what a special moment Saturday at Westfield. Coach gets the job done, presenting the award there to his former player there, that is, if you will, in Florida. And surprise senior Brayden Smith, this year's Indiana Mr. Basketball with a coveted number 1 jersey. Smith, of course, averaged over 18 points and 6 rebounds and 6 assists for the Shamrocks this year, leading the team to his first ever sectional title. Smith departs Westfield High School as its all-time leader in scoring with 1,629 points. Next year, Brayden, of course, will head to Purdue to play for Matt Painter and the Boilermakers, who for the 2nd straight year welcomes Indiana's Mr. Basketball to West Lafayette. Congratulations there to Brayden Smith. In addition to Smith, the Indiana High School All-Star Boys basketball team will have quite a bit of Central Indiana flavor to it. 4A state champion Cathedral will be represented by a pair of players as both Jackson Edwards and Tayshawn Comer make the team. Also, congratulations to the Pikes, Ryan Conwell from Warren Central. Tay Davis becomes the Warriors' 9th boys Indiana All-Star, I should say. And also on the team from the MIC is Lawrence North's CJ Gunn. Ahmad Gerard of Mount Vernon makes the team, while representing Carmel is, Pete Suter. He is representing Carmel there. The Indiana All-Stars will face Kentucky in a pair of games coming up on June the 10th. And the 11th. All the best of those guys. All right, time for a break, folks. But we have much more ahead here tonight on the Zone Extra. Up next is the Coach's Corner. His Golden Eagles, team is ranked number 1 in the state. Guerin Catholic girls lacrosse coach Brian Bellin is here with us tonight. Can't wait to talk to Coach. And still ahead, he's one of the state's top football players, but also excels in multiple other sports. We're introduced you to our Athlete of the Week from Lawrence North High School. That's on the way.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. The Coach's Corner, presented by Junk King.
All right, folks, we're back here on the Zone Extra. Anthony Callan here with you tonight. Time now for our Coach's Corner. Guerin Catholic is off to a great start this season in girls lacrosse. The Golden Eagles are a perfect 8-0 and ranked number 1 in the state. We're going to welcome to the Zone Extra their longtime head coach, Brian Bellin. 8-0, Coach, off to a great start. Great to see you as always, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
You know we love the folks from Guerin Catholic.
Yes.
Always got a great student section. We know that as well.
Yeah.
But I know it's got to be great for you. You got the ladies playing some really good lacrosse right now. How special has it been coaching this team right now?
It's been really special this year. We had a lot of changes. We had a lot of disappointments last year to start. I thought we had the team that was going to go to state last year and unfortunately got knocked out first round of sectionals, so we were really anxious to get back on the field. Only graduated 2 seniors, had a couple transfer students come in, 4 freshmen came in, they're really helping us out. And, just watching the cohesiveness of this team and how they're growing together, the 8 wins are great, but watching how they're developing and growing game over game. And, we put in 2 new offenses, we put in 2 new defenses, and just watching how they're taking that and running with it has been really good.
Yeah, when you look at this team, I mean, we talk about you guys being ranked number 1 in the state, but talk about leadership. 14 seniors. That is unbelievable. How special has that been?
That's been great. It's been tough as well. Having a lot of seniors, obviously we can only field 11 players.
Yeah.
We have some underclassmen that have some starting roles. So, a lot of the seniors are providing a lot of great support. It's really great to have them on the sidelines. They're great during our practice and our drills. Everyone's bought into the roles that they have this year, and I think that's a very important part of this year's team that's been different from other teams in the past, that everyone is just very accepting of what their role is now and what we're trying to achieve as a team.
You talk about just being a shocker last year, coming up short, not able to get to the state championship, as you mentioned. What do you believe that the girls have learned from last year? Are they more eager to, hey, we got to get it done in the postseason. We want to get to state. We got to make things happen, right?
Yeah. We set three main goals for the year. The first was to try and get the #1 seed in our sectional, and we've already achieved that. We played our 3 sectional games and won those.
Yeah.
Next was to win our conference title again for the second time in a row. We've played 3 games, won those. April 19th is our final game against Roncalli. So if we win that, we are conference champions. And the final goal is to win the state title.
Okay, well, you're getting close. You got 2 down, 2 down, 1 more to go. As for yourself, you've been there since 2010.
Yes.
A long time hanging out there with Guerin Catholic. What has been so unique for you, and just what have you enjoyed the most about being around these great young ladies?
Guerin Catholic's just, it's a great place. Ever since I walked into the building as a parent, actually, the first time, I just had a really good community feel to it. Ended up falling into the coaching position there, and the staff, the AD, the parents, everyone is just so supportive there. We actually became a varsity sport right out of the gate. Some of the schools are still club sports, so they don't have that support that we do. They built us a brand new, nice lacrosse and soccer only facility about 4 or 5 years ago. So that's been awesome. It's just been a great experience. It was something I never thought I would be getting into high school coaching girls lacrosse, and just fell into it. And once I got into it, it's just hard to leave now. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. Over 30 years of experience for you, been around the lacrosse game, and when you reflect back to last year, and I know it was a tough year for you guys trying to get to state, but you had a lot going on. You had COVID going on as well. How nice is it now to just kind of focus in on trying to get the job done on the field outside dealing with what's going on outside the field now, for the most part?
It's been so refreshing. It's just we just worry about practice now, worry about our next opponents, and just work on our game and work on our game plans for the next team. So it's been really refreshing not having to worry about COVID protocols, who's going to miss this game, who's going to miss that game. So it's, it makes it a lot easier this year for sure. So.
All right, yeah. Let's take a look at speaking of your schedule, let's take a look at your upcoming schedule if we can here for Guerin Catholic. You look at those teams you mentioned, Roncalli, got to get that one done. That's a big game coming up for you guys. Match, I should say, coming up for you as well. Then you look at Carmel and the other teams you're playing. Give me your take on these games coming up here for your team.
Well, ever since I've been coaching, it seems like the state title has run through either Carmel, Cathedral, or Culver. And Culver's not listed there, but they're coming up, I think, May 5th. So we have to get through those 3 games. Carmel's going to be a tough out for us for sure. We played them in some winter ball and some fall ball, and we had some pretty close games. So I think it's going to be a fun matchup for both sides. That's going to be definitely the game that we're preparing for the most. Assumption, that's a tough team out of Kentucky. That's a rescheduled game, so don't really know a whole lot about them, but the teams out of Louisville are always pretty tough. And Cathedral is Cathedral, just like Carmel. They always have great athletes and always well coached. So it's going to be really tough. So.
It's been so awesome to see how much sports in general are growing here in the state of Indiana, especially when it comes to girls lacrosse. Give me your take on that. How pleased have you been to see how the sport has grown over the years?
Well, it really started to take off. I would say from 2012 to maybe 2018, there was a lot of growth in the state. When I first started in 2010, there were only like 16 varsity teams. Now we're sitting at about 40. Over the past few years, it's basically, sort of slowed down a little bit. I don't know if that has to do with COVID or what, but, I'm pretty excited to see it continue to grow.
Yeah, I love it there. Real quick before I let you get out of here, what's your final message to the girls as they try to make that push for a state championship?
Stay focused, girls. Stay fast.
Stay focused and stay fast. All right, Coach. Great to see you as always.
Thanks for having me.
Send my best to all the students out there, Guerin Catholic. We love checking out Guerin Catholic, and all the best to your team.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. Still here tonight with Zone Extra. It's our athlete of the week, folks. He's a 3-sport star. in football, basketball, and track and field at Lawrence North. Up next, meet Wildcat senior Omar Cooper Jr. That's on the way. Plus, we reveal our play of the week. Come on back.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
All right, back here on the Zone Extra, Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Our athlete of the week, folks, is a three-sport star at Lawrence North High School. And next fall, he will head to IU, joining head coach Tom Allen's football team as a wide receiver. But before making the transition to Bloomington, Omar Cooper Jr. has more to accomplish in high school as a Wildcat. Yeah, Cooper is a member of the Lawrence North track and field team. Last month, he won the long jump event at the Mick Indoor Championship, setting a personal record. He followed that up with a sixth place finish at the Hoosier State Relays. This past winter, Cooper averaged over 9 points and 6.5 rebounds, up in the Wildcats to a 17-7 record and a sectional title game appearance. On the gridiron, he racked up over 2,800 career receiving yards, and this year he helped lead the Wildcats to their first football sectional title in 32 years. While he's looking ahead to IU, Omar tells us tonight that he's enjoying what time he has left at Lawrence North.
Being able to hang with all my friends and my brothers, playing the sports, basketball, football, and probably making it to state and winning sectional championship for the first time in 32 years. That was my most exciting, probably winning sectional championship, just because it was against our rival and it was a long time. Team-wise, a lot of people didn't think we was going to be able to do what we did. Basketball, I've always played it as a kid, so that was just that was the reason I did it, and it also helps a lot with football, just like rebounds and stuff. It helps going up and getting the ball. Also, track is just to help me like get more explosive and train to get faster. So basically everything I do is either because I like it or to help me with football.
Oh, you got to love it. All the best to him. Okay, time for a break, but more is still to come on the Zone Extra tonight, including our play of the week. Plus, is the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA. That's next.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
All right, back here on the Zone Extra tonight. Anthony Calhoun here with you. Now it's time for Ask the Commissioner. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. So here we go. Here's this week's question. With Major League Baseball moving to an universal designated hitter this season, is that something you're in favor of, or do you prefer having pitchers hit?
Well, a good friend of mine many years ago was Andy Bennis, and Andy Bennis could swing a bat for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he was a benefit to the game when he was able to do that. And I just think players have to be well-versed. But at the end of the day, the way all rules change here, there has to be a proposal from the Coaches Association. Once it comes from the Coaches Association, we'll look and see if it fits within the National Federation of High Schools rule book. And if the majority of coaches in the state think this is a good thing and they recommend it to us, then I'm sure we'll consider it.
Always great to hear from the commissioner. Hey, don't forget, if you have some questions for the commissioner, you can submit the questions. Send us a tweet using the hashtags, the Zone Extra, and ask the commission. And your question, who knows, could possibly end up on a future show right here on the Zone Extra. All right, folks, now it's time to look at our play of the week. Each week we feature one of the top plays from the high school sports scene here in Central Indiana. Plus, we want you to get involved. We'll tell you how you can do that in a moment. But now, let's take a look at the play of the week. And top plays here. Carmel visiting Hamilton Southeastern in softball. Lily Sullivan, Hope McDonald, and Sophie Esposito all homered for Carmel last week in a game that featured an incredible 49 runs and 40 hits. The Hounds win one of the wildest games you'll ever see. Wow, 26-23, the final. Our crews see a lot of great action, folks, but we want to hear from you. Here's information on the screen how you can also have your play of the week featured here on the Zone Extra. So check us out here on the Zone Extra. Hey, folks, a big thank you for watching here tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, we're back here next week, same time, right here on Wish TV.